way of kind of challenging myself this year is to ditch the wheelchair and do the whole thing on foot. So do it on crutches. It's going to be very physically demanding, but essentially I've done harder things before. I've done harder endurance style events on foot. Hey everyone, my name's Saunders. I am a fitness coach. I'm an athlete and also an awesome ambassador. And I just wanted to spend a few minutes just talking about 2024 setting goals and essentially things that I do and things that you could potentially implement to help you have a more awesome 2024. So what does an awesome life look to me? Split it into a few categories. I'd say on the fitness front, feeling awesome, feeling good, kind of having lots of energy, lots of focus, feeling like I can push myself hard when I'm training, minimal injuries, like feeling fit, like having a good base of cardiovascular fitness, feeling strong, like all those things to me embody kind of physical fitness and feeling awesome. From a family standpoint, I'm showing up for my family, showing up for my missus, showing up for my kids, being a good role model, having energy to, play with them and show up for them as well and not be like continuously kind of grumpy and run down and overwhelmed with work. It's kind of just being present and being a good family man, good role model, like I said. So for me, showing up for them is something that equates as awesome. From a financial standpoint, progressing in my career, financially stable, good source of income, additional sources of revenue, all that kind of stuff that ties into kind of overall wellness and well-being, I feel. And thinking about, I guess, mindset as well, like having goals, feeling like I've got a purpose, working towards goals, steadily progress, like not feeling stuck, not feeling like I'm in the same place, challenging myself, pushing myself out of my comfort zone, new experiences, new opportunities. To me, that's like a high performance or high performing, awesome life. I guess just having all round fun as well, like pursuing new hobbies, doing things that I'm not used to doing, things that bring me kind of enjoyment and happiness. So all those things to me encompass living an awesome kind of high performing life. And in 2024, I'm aiming to tick off all of those boxes. So when it comes to setting goals and, achieving things and winning and ticking off kind of goals and whatnot, one thing as a coach that I've seen over the years with my clients, there's generally three things that I've seen has worked with clients over the years. One of those things is giving your goal a deadline. A goal without a deadline is just an idea. So if you have a goal, whether it's, performance-based or body composition-based or even outside of kind of health and fitness, it's best to give your goal a deadline. So then it becomes more urgent, there's more accountability. You've generally got something to work for and it makes that goal a little bit more urgent, as it were. So giving a goal a deadline is definitely something that I've seen help clients over the years achieve their goals. Another thing that's generally worked well and something I've advised clients quite a lot over the years and even applied to myself is focusing on the actions and the habits that will lead you to the goal rather than focusing on the goal itself or like the outcome itself. And a typical example of this is like my clients, weight loss, wanting to get in better shape, feel better, look better. And I'll always, you've got to get the metrics, you've got to understand, what their overarching end goal is. But as a coach, it's trying to encourage them not to focus on the outcome per se, focus on the habits and the behaviors that will lead them to the outcome. So if the goal is to lose, half a stone, lose 3 kilos, rather than focusing on the weight loss each week, what habits and behaviors can lead you to lose, a pound a week? Could it be, improving hydration, increasing protein? Could it be increasing step count, getting better sleep? All these different things, like what habits what behaviors can you focus on that will lead you to the outcome? And again, health and fitness, obviously that's the kind of the industry we're in, but it can relate to anything. Rather, if you want to earn an extra 500 a month, it's like, okay, that's not just going to suddenly appear. What can you do? What actions can you take? Self-employed, can you post more on socials? Can you create a lead magnet? Can you send more emails? Like just an example, but rather than focusing on the outcome itself, the end goal, and then it seems really far away, and then you're more inclined to kind of lose motivation and lose discipline and basically lose heart and mojo. Whereas if you focus on the actions, you can do X, Y, and Z today. That's going to move the needle needle closer to the end goal. So that's another thing that I've seen work really well with clients. And then kind of also on that is like a mindset, working on your individual mindset, working on like limiting beliefs and shifting perception. I think a lot of the times the limiting beliefs we have are self-imposed. There might be an experience in the past that might kind of solidify that belief in your head, but a lot of the time you can kind of override it. You can kind of rub it out and create a new sense of belief. And with self-imposed limitations, I feel a lot of times they can be overwritten just with a kind of shift of perception and kind of reframing the belief, where a lot of times people say, you know, I can't do that, that's too hard, that's not for me, I'm not this, I'm not that. And I found that sometimes it's not a case of they can't do it, it's just they don't have the belief they can do it, they don't know how to do it, or they just don't want to do it. And the first two things, like myself as a coach, I'll always try and work with people to help change that. So, you know, you can't do it yet. Like in time, with practice, with repetition, you probably can do the thing. If you don't know how to do it, that's what I'm here to help with. Overcoming limits and beliefs is something that I'm still working on, but it's something that I've pretty much struggled with myself my whole life, being born with a disability, being born with one leg. The whole fitness thing, sports as a kid, you know, wasn't my forte. And as a kid as well, like you're pretty much based, your popularity is based on how good you are at football and how fast you can run. So a lot of times my self-esteem, my confidence wasn't that high. Didn't have that much self-belief or confidence in my physical prowess as a kid. So now, fast forward to now, where I'm doing every single fitness event under the sun and, you know, pushing myself and trying to see what I'm actually capable of. A lot of that is just to undermine and kind of overpower that underlying belief of, you know, you're not good enough, you can't do that. So definitely working on mindset is something that helps people achieve their goals. Things aren't impossible. Yes, they might be difficult, they might be challenging, but with the right plan, the right course of action, daily habits, and essentially reframing those negative thoughts definitely will help improve your chances of achieving your goals in 2024. So a few things I changed in 2023 that improved, that kind of drove up my performance as a human being. The first thing I looked at improving was my quality of sleep, my quantity of sleep, because I found myself slipping into some bad habits where I'd get home from work and then I would think, oh, just before I know it, it's 11:30, pushing 12. And I know myself that I've got to get to bed at 10, like latest, lights off at 10, you know, have a nice evening routine that preps me and winds me down ready for sleep so I can wake up the next day feeling energized, ready to go, crush the day. But sometimes as a coach, you might get into that kind of do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. And I'm always encouraging clients to, you know, focus on your sleep, whether your goal is, you know, performance, whether it's body composition, whether it's improving mood and energy levels, sleep is key in that. So for me, worked on my evening routine, you know, got rid of devices about an hour before bed, like ideally sometimes it's half an hour. I would, you know, read, I'd have a bath or like a hot shower, something just to prep the body, prep the mind ready for sleep. And I found that really helped. I mean, I'm not perfect. It doesn't happen every single night, but it definitely was better than it was kind of middle of last year. So that helped with pretty much everything, with my mood, concentration, with, you know, dietary choices, performance in the gym. I was able to train harder, recover better as well. So definitely sleep was something that I looked at improving, and it had big dividends and big benefits at the end of it. Another thing that I implemented was a lot more self-care. Sometimes we kind of forget about the recovery side of things, and it's only when we burn out or we hit a wall or we get injured that we start focusing on our recovery and restoring ourselves. So that was something that I looked at improving, and I did. So I implemented more recovery sessions. I do more mobility, like, you know, 10 minutes of mobility a day where possible. I invested in a massage gun, the Theragun, which definitely helps a lot. Started going for like acupuncture and cupping and massages, so got that a little bit more often than I used to. And that again is just, for me, it's almost like paying myself back from, you know, all the hard work I've been doing. It's like a treat for me. And I always used to encourage my clients, try and get yourself looked at like, you know, an MOT, a body MOT at least once a quarter as a minimum. If you could do it monthly, that's awesome. That's even better, but costs, etc. But, you know, once every 3 months, go and see an osteo, go and see a chiro, get a deep tissue massage, do something that's kind of restorative for your body, because we get caught up in training, work, family, social life, chasing goals, etc. And we end up, like I said, end up burning out, hitting a wall. So definitely improving and making a priority your recovery was something that I did. and I recommend everyone should as well. The last thing I improved in 2023, which I felt massive benefits from doing, was kind of being more rigid with my supplementation. I started to take some multivitamins and took some omega oils, got some protein protein powder back in the diet as well. And essentially just to cover bases. I'd like to think my diet is pretty varied, pretty whole, pretty nutrient dense, but the odd time you fall short. And for me, getting some of these supplements in helps cover my bases, all the kind of micronutrients, keeping my immune system kind of supported as well. So that was something I definitely felt the benefits from doing, and it is a pretty integral part of my routine right now, which leads me into the kind of next point really of what supplements that I take and why, courtesy of these amazing people right here. So I take Awesome Defense, which is a high-strength multivitamin, and that essentially, for me, like, it covers all of my micronutrient bases. Over the years, I've always known the importance of taking a multivitamin, but before Awesome, I take, other brands, just one pill, which, when you think about it, you can't really get all of your micronutrient needs from A through to Z, all the vitamins, all the minerals from one pill. And that's one of the good things I find about Awesome supplements. Got to take 4, but I know for a fact that everything's being covered. That's something I take that is definitely non-negotiable. And at this current time, a lot of people I know are getting ill. A lot of people are falling sick, and I've thankfully managed to swerve it so far. Touch words. And I'd like to think that Awesome Defense is actually integral in that. So I'm gonna keep taking it and keep feeling good. Another one that I use daily is omega-3s. Again, at high strength. Another supplement that I'm big on is the Awesome Omegas, which is a omega-3 capsule. I hands up don't eat enough oily fish in my diet a week to warrant not taking omega-3. So that's something that I do to cover, get my omega-3 oils in. Again, looking after the heart, brain health, and optimally functioning on those two very important organs. So I use those just to keep myself topped up. I have incorporated a little bit more salmon in the diet, using HelloFresh, so getting a bit more variety in the meals, but still not getting, 3 to 4 portions of oily fish a week. So omega-3s definitely helps cover me on that side of things. Also the joints, Awesome Joints, again, from a training perspective, I play wheelchair basketball, train in the gym, often like ramping around with the kids. As a trainer, I'm on my feet and using crutches all day, like I'm on my arms as well. So my joints take a lot of wear and tear, and using Awesome Joints, again, is just looking after joint care and keeping inflammation down, helping me recover faster so I can be more active and not be so stiff and achy. So those 3 things, the health stack, which is the defense tablets, the omega-3s, and the joints, those are my 3 kind of non-negotiables. Take those every day pretty much without fail, and definitely feeling the benefits kind of physically and mentally as well. So if I would recommend any supplements, it would be those 3 in terms of, optimal wellness. In terms of supplementation for training, I've got protein powder, which again, I've had questions from clients over these. Do I need a protein powder? Do I really need protein powder? And the answer is no, but we'll generally struggle to eat enough dietary protein day to day. So this is where supplementation, Awesome Protein, really helps just to kind of boost my intake of protein in a pretty quick, easy and tasty and convenient way. So that's not an everyday, that's a bit more sparing. Like I said, the multivits, omega-3s, those are every single day. But the protein, use that just to help me hit daily protein targets. Also, I take Power as well, which is a mixture of beta-alanine and creatine, and that helps me with training, with power output, with recovery. And what I've found in the past with other kind of beta-alanine supplement companies, I found that it had this grainy taste. For one, the creatine wouldn't really ever mix, and then with the beta-alanine, you'd have to take a dose, you get tingles, get the itches, and with Power, I'm able to have an amount in my daily drinking water, which makes it go down a whole lot easier. It tastes really good, and I don't get the tingles, don't get the itches anymore. So that's really nice. It just helps me drink more, but I also know there's an additional performance benefit at the end of it. And I don't have to take it like pre or post training. It's just something I can sip throughout the day. So that's been a game changer for me as well. Feeling stronger, recovering shorter periods as well. So I'm able to push harder, train longer, whether it's basketball or if I'm doing kind of functional fitness. All of that has played into me kind of feeling good and feeling strong. And also for long duration exercise, I definitely take hydration as well. Awesome Hydrate. That comes, in a nice flavored powder, which, again, I can sip. Sometimes I mix that with the power, so I get like a bit of a mishmash of flavors, but it definitely helps me to drink more. That's something else I add in as well, just to help me stay hydrated if if I'm sweating a lot, helps just keep my electrolytes topped up, avoid cramping, all that kind of stuff. So those are the 3 performance-based supplements that I take, and I'll continue to take into 2024 because I've got some fitness goals that I want to achieve this year as well. So the fitness goals for me in 2024, the Great Ethiopia Run in February. That is a half marathon around Lake Hawassa in Ethiopia. I'm doing that just to raise some money, raise awareness for Ethiopia Aid, which is a great charity doing some work over there. I'm not an endurance athlete by any means. I've done, a few 10Ks. I've actually done unexpected half marathon, did the Wings for Life run earlier this year around Battersea Park, and did X amount of laps that basically equated to like 21K. So I know I've got it in me. It's just doing it in a different climate at altitude as well. So my supplementation is going to be quite important going into that. Another goal is to complete High Rocks out of my wheelchair. So High Rocks is a series of runs and functional workouts all mashed together. Essentially, so you do a 1K run and you do a functional workout, do another run. So you run 8K and you do 8 workouts. And I generally done the running part in my basketball chair, so which just allowed me to move at speed. But a way of kind of challenging myself this year is to ditch the wheelchair and do the whole thing on foot. So do it on crutches. It's going to be very physically demanding, but essentially I've done harder things before. I've done harder endurance style events on foot. Did the Brecon Beacons, did the SAS fan dance last year or the year before. And to me, that was the hardest endurance event I've ever done. It was like 5 hours of just traipsing up and down terrains and stuff. So for me, an hour and a half, 2 hours of High Rocks is not going to hurt me as much as that did. So that's something I'm looking to tick off my box this year because I didn't get to do it last year. Another goal is to increase my powerlifting total with some of my colleagues at Gymshark. We did a little powerlifting meet about a month ago, and we did bench, deadlift and squat. So the total I got was 250, but I'm just coming off a back injury a few months back, so I was playing it a little bit safe. So I'd love to up that number to like over 260 this year, probably in the next kind of 3 months, I'd say. So that's something I want to work towards as well. But it might be a bit contradictory trying to do the half marathon and do my powerlifting, but hey, we'll get it done. Also, spending more time fixing old injuries. So kind of leading on to the point of making priority or making your recovery a priority and kind of investing in your well-being. Definitely want to look at, my shoulders because they take a lot of wear and tear using the crutches, playing wheelchair basketball. And essentially my shoulders are everyone else's hips. So a lot of my body weight load goes through the shoulders, bit snap, crackle and pop in them. So I want to kind of look at those, get them feeling much better. Again, carrying on with, the recovery, the massages, the acupuncture, all of those things, just making sure that I'm looking after my health, my fitness for the long run, just so I can, train and remain active well into my kind of later years. And obviously with the kids as well, just staying fit and mobile and supple to show up for them as well. So yeah, I'd say those are some of my fitness goals. I've got others outside of fitness, but let's just keep it to health and fitness right now. So last tips for all of you awesome people, how to make 2024 more awesome. What I would say, write down 1 to 3 goals for 2024 in regards to your health and fitness. Could be more, but let's just say 1 to 3. And then for the next 12 weeks, write down mini goals that will lead you to those 1 to 3 overarching goals. And then from those 3 monthly goals, break it down again into monthly habits, like monthly goals, things that will move the needle closer to the overarching goal. And then from that monthly goal, write down weekly habits, weekly actions that are going to lead you towards where you want to be and things you want to achieve in 2024. It's good to write things down. It's good to get things down on paper. It's good to make things visual because it makes them more real. Rather than keep them in your head, get them down on paper, maybe make a vision board or a mood board. But yeah, it's kind of breaking down and getting like micro goals that lead to the macro goal, but break it down from year to kind of 3 months, quarterly to monthly, and then to weekly. And then even from weekly, you can go to daily. Like, what things do I have to do today that's going to help me at the end of this month achieve the goal that gets me closer to my overarching goal? And I think that will help. That's pretty basic. I mean, prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Definitely getting things down on paper, deadlines, breaking bigger goals down into smaller chunks so they feel a little bit more achievable and not so distant. Definitely a way that I've used over the last few years. I've just finished up wrapping up my goals for this year and what actions I need to take and what I want to achieve in the next 90 days. So yeah, it always feels good to be working towards something, striving, feeling like you've got purpose. So yeah, those are my tips for making your 2024 more awesome. Hopefully you have an awesome, fantastic year. Love from myself, Tyler Saunders, and all the people at Awesome Supplements.